All right, hopping it, guys, and we are back. It's another edition, another episode of the One Micronesia podcast. And man, I'm super excited, super stoked to have this guy on. He's been a friend, he's been a long time friend. Just getting him on. I've always wanted to talk to him about the programs that they've had with Manelu, and then everything COVID happened, so that I kind of put a stop on a lot of things. But we're back. We're doing the One Micronesia podcast again, and I wanted to bring him on because they kind of brought back this whole program that they had with Manelu. They started up again just these past couple of days. So I wanted to talk with them and just to find out, get some more information on the program. So here with us, ladies and gentlemen, it's Lerk Gaza from Opake.
Half a day. Thanks for having me.
Hey, anytime, my bro. So real quick, before we get into the program, or let's just talk about you and your kind of a background on with painting and everything. I think when we understand your perspective and how you started and why you chose to go that way, I think when we come to talk about the program, people actually have an idea of like, oh, this is why,
right.
why you had to give back, and this is why Opake's such a big brand. Because of course we're going to talk about Opake in just a little bit, but let's talk about Lerk. Let the people know, like, how did it all start for you? Like, was this something that
I grew up in a family. My father and all his brothers were all artists. Drawing was pretty much everything growing up because we didn't have technology like what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
I fell in love with sketching, and I was more of like a pencil guy. But then once I started to get into like spray paint, it was just like, oh, this is my love, like. The only thing about spray painting was the paint that we had here. It just wasn't vibrant. It just wasn't like the type of paint that you see like in the magazines. Like, how did they do that? And the thing about that is, as a graffiti artist back in those days, it kind of like brings you down because you try and for some reason it can never look like these pictures. Like, how are they doing this? Is this something that no one is teaching? You're like, what are the tricks? Why can't we do it? And then you figure out that it's the type of paint, it's a type of caps that they use, the way they make their lines, how they get their lines, how they fade their lines. And then once I got into all of that, that's when we decided to bring in this type of paint to Guam. Which is why, if you notice, like a lot of the murals and big paintings, with all the artists from off island, they're able to come here and do that, and which is good because now we can provide that within Guam and like the Marianas. It's a lot easier to access. But going back, I was also that kid. I admit that was writing on the walls, in the bathrooms, and all that.
Okay.
I'm giving back, and I always told myself that if this thing was ever to pop off, that I would do my best. I would give back. I would try whatever I can do in my power or whatever to help, and Sam from Manelu brought it up. It was the art in the Ville, and also I believe there's also a photography and like an open mic.
Yeah.
And then it was the graffiti. So we went through different villages, and while, like, let's say we're in Mong, they're doing another one, they're doing like the camera or the photography in another village, and then after all that we switch and we get to meet all these kids, which is, to me, like, it's super inspiring. Like, a lot of people thank us for doing this and all, but honestly, it's like we're thanking these kids because we learn a lot. They take us back, they remind us time and time again of like why we're doing all of this stuff, and with this busy, like everything being so busy, you tend to forget like what it's all about.
Yeah.
Everyone is so into technology and everything, and when you get down into art and spray paint, it doesn't get any realer than that. When you communicate with people that you just first meet, the beginning, they're super quiet and all that. And once they start to get to know you, and then you start to paint together, it just creates a whole, like, very unexplainable relationship. You know what I mean? So, we never really thought of it of like yeah, let's go do that for like the media or
Hmm.
like to get like we're not doing this to sell shirts.
Hmm.
It was never part of the plan. It was just more of like, let's give back. Let's get down with these kids. And we tell them like, hey, if you want to spend some time with us, we're down to spend some time with you. You want to be friends with us, we can be friends for life. Just give us the time when we're around you, you know what I mean? And we'll give the same back. And like they from right when they hear that, they commit, because we're real, we're pretty real about it, and I don't know, man. You should come check us out, paint with us one day,
Yeah, honestly, I'm down. We got to set up
right?
a date. I know these upcoming weeks we'll get into that. But I really love that. I love the idea. I think when I first saw the first picture, and I was like, whoa, because it's really crazy. It's you don't see a lot of it when we see these well-known companies on Guam kind of take time, kind of pause for a little bit, step out of their zone to come back down to the people, especially to the kids, to give back. And when I saw you guys do that, I was like, wow. And we're gonna go back to talk about that one part you said that when you were growing up, you were that one of those kids who kind of scribbled on the wall. I think everybody was one of those kids,
Yes.
like on the desk.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, like if you go back to my elementary, my high school, like the desks that I used, I think at one point at a corner or underneath the desk, I've scribbled something. So we've all done that.
It's there.
Yeah.
Right?
So
Yep.
what you guys are doing, I think, and I always talk about it on the radio since the program kicked off, and I think it's something that's so unique, and it's at the same time it's inspiring to see artists like you guys from Opake, super awesome professional artists, kind of take the talent and teach it, because now you, instead of the kid who just usually grabs a marker and just writes random things, now you can teach them
Right.
to make something that's beautiful that can last.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. They could even, I mean, like us, like we make a living off of it.
Mhm.
If we can do it, anyone can do it. And it's more or less like not saying it's also guiding them, like, if you're gonna do it anyway, at least like know what you're doing, and kind of like take it to another level. Like, is that really what you want to do? And we'll tell them like, do you really want to keep writing on a wall till you go to jail, or do you want to keep writing a
Mm.
wall on a wall? Stop writing on a wall, do it on a piece of canvas, and make money. You know what I mean? Like, just get them like, oh, and the thing is, man, like when we did stuff with like Crime Stoppers
Mhm.
and um Manelu, like these
Mhm.
kids, they remember, and they'll pull us to the side and like, I just want to say thank you. Like, we never thought anyone would ever take the time,
Mhm.
and they just felt like like someone, like they were cared about, and it's like, wow,
Mhm.
that just hits the heart, and that's what keeps it going. You know what I mean?
It's awesome, man, and you guys are doing such an awesome job. Let's talk about some of the stuff you guys did with them. So, but we're gonna go back before COVID, because I know you guys did a lot of paintings and stuff. Let's talk about some of those projects.
hmm So right before COVID, I think the most, or the last one we did, I would say, was the side of Ross. I don't know if you ever been to the back side of Ross,
Oh
that
yeah,
big
yeah,
retaining
yeah.
wall,
Uh-huh.
like in back at Lone Star.
Yeah.
So we got with the three villages from the first art in the Ville.
Hmm.
We gathered all three villages, and then we collaborated on that wall. So if I don't know, whoever's listening and they haven't seen it, go ahead, and it's a, I would say, 60 to 100 feet wide
Wow.
by like, man, like maybe give or take 15 feet up, and
Wow.
we did it in maybe 2 weekends,
Wow.
about
That's
2 weekends, and yeah, it makes them feel like, oh, we can do anything.
right. I mean, if you start them
Yeah.
off with a small canvas, and then when you move up a level and give them a whole building and they do something,
Yes.
remember, this building is not going anywhere. This building is there for like another
Nope.
10, 20 years. So they're gonna
Yeah.
walk
Yeah.
past that building and be like, I did that. And I think that
Yeah.
really generates a lot of good intentions. And they're like, if I can do that, I can do more. I can do a bigger mural. So
I could be a company that gives a kid $100, right? Or
mhm.
I could be a company that does a painting with an individual, and they see it there for years and years and years. And to me, that's worth more than $1 million.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're a part of it, and you see it, and you can tell stories about it. It's always about the story.
Hmm.
It's always about the the connecting and the just like the camaraderie, and like, wow, we did that together, like, wow, and I don't know, I get high off of that. If it sounds weird or what, like that's just like that's my thing. Yeah.
So, man, that's awesome. Let's talk about some of the challenges because when you guys first started this, I know it was kind of hard. Like some of them might be communication.
Hmm.
But what were some of the challenges that you saw when you guys first
You
started this, the
know,
first couple ones?
without I myself couldn't do it by myself. With my partner Tim
Hmm.
Soys and
Oh,
Rome,
hmm.
like Tim just has like a way of like talking to these kids and like making it so easy to understand. And I think when they feel that comfort, they feel secure, they feel like they can open up. And to me, that's the most important thing. Like if you can't open up and you don't feel secure, you're not gonna want, what would make you want to even start drawing with us.
Right.
So that to me is the the main thing. And I think when they're around their friends and they start seeing like their close friend drawing, then they start to, in the beginning they probably won't, more than most of the time they won't, but after the second session they feel like they could open up. And then Manelu, their team too, they feel
Hmm.
good around them, so they help us out a lot. Like if they weren't there, I don't know, they'll probably be like, why do you have to listen to these three guys? Yeah, it's just creating that bond. But I'd really like, I don't know, I'm saying you need to come by sometime, and
I will.
and
I
just see
will.
what it's about. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
We'll definitely after this, we'll pen it. We'll set up a date. I'll just definitely stop by after KYM. We'll definitely help out.
Yeah.
I'm for I'm for the cause always.
we're at Hemlani's right now.
Awesome.
So we'll be there for another week, 2 weeks, maybe
Okay.
another
Yeah.
2 weeks. And we meet with them Mondays and Wednesdays
Nice.
from 4 to 5. Yeah. So, I mean,
So how's it been? Taking you back to like the first day, the first one, and then
mhm.
to now. Like, did you see a lot of kids starting to come out now than before? Or how was that?
I'm not going to lie. You can tell the different struggles, the different type of struggles from like different villages.
Hmm.
Um, you really see it, you can really feel what's going on in that place, and it's it's uh it's just one of those things where like, wow.
Uh-huh.
Our very first one was at in Machinao. Now it's called Summer Homes, and
Hmm.
they were just very creative, and they helped us to kind of like build what we're, with all the other new ones that we're doing. It helped us kind of figure out how we could communicate with them easier, and I guess how to approach it. You
Hmm.
know, they're
Hmm.
just, man, really cool kids, really cool kids. I hope they hear this. We miss you
Yeah.
guys, man.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure, man. And
Yeah.
you guys will continue to do that. My next question would be,
Hmm.
when you guys are there, like, what are some of the things, like the ideas? Are they the ones who come out with the ideas of what to paint or to draw, or is it something that you guys already have, like a lesson plan where you just show up and like, okay, this is
So
what we.
I know in the beginning we'll teach them the basics, and then Tim will ask them like, what's your favorite letter, your favorite color, kind of like things that you're into, just to get to know who they are. So then they all have their individual canvases, and then they do like their favorite letter and their favorite color, and then they put their own style into it, and it kind of shows what type of person the individual is. And then from there they can get their own a separate piece, and they do whatever they want. But we kind of just show them a little bit of the opaque style, like we
Mhm.
would take a regular letter, like, you know what I mean, and give it some arrows and
Right.
colors and shadows, and then it just opens them up.
And that's crazy because art is for everybody. Maybe you're not good at
Hmm.
it, but art is it's literally for everybody. It's just either you take
Yeah,
it to the
yeah.
next level, or but that's crazy. You guys are just giving back, and you guys are giving them, you're teaching them more ways. It's like you can write a regular I, and then you can show them 20 other ways of writing a creative, nice looking I. You know.
Right. There's no such thing as a good artist or whatever. It's whatever way you do it. It's just, it's all art. There, your art, like, it's just the way you see it. Anyone can be an artist. You know, it's how you take it and where you go with it is what really matters. You know, you're an artist.
I'll try. I try
Hey.
to handwriting wide. I don't know, but I try. I try. But let's talk about it. You know, it was an awesome program, and then boom, COVID happens. Everybody was like, "What in the world?"
COVID. Yep.
So everything paused. Like everybody says it, you know, the world just hit pause. You know, everybody was just like,
Yep.
"Whoa." And then so your program went on pause as well. Did you guys do anything during COVID? Did you guys go back and forth or try to like send little things during COVID, or was that just a big pause?
Even with what we're doing right now, it was a big debate because we're like, how are we gonna do this? You
Mm-hmm.
know, Sam was asking, are we even still down?
Mm.
And we said, of course we are, but what are the guidelines? What do we need to do? And then we figured that out. So now there's, you know, distancing, and then everyone wears masks and
Mm-hmm.
then gloves. It's just a weird time. We Who would ever think you're gonna teach with gloves and a
Right?
mask? You know, yeah, you know. Well, we're still there. We're still there for them, and we'll try. Where as long as we can, we'll do it with them. You know.
I'm pretty sure, man. And that's why you guys are awesome. And
Yeah.
like the giving back you guys are doing, it's just coming from a company like Opake's, a company that's so well known, to see them kind of step out of their zone of this whole Opake and being with the community and being with the kids. I think that, oh man, it really hits hard. It really hit hard when I first saw it.
Thank
I was
you.
like, man,
Yeah.
props to Lerk and the boys, Soist and the
Yes.
whole crew at
Yes.
Opake, man. You guys are just
Yes.
doing so, and trust me, man, like down the line, 10 years from now, one of those kids, three of those kids, you know, might be on
They're
your
gonna do
team,
it.
might be on your team, or might make their own, you know, might go
Yes.
the next powwow Guam. You're gonna see some of those kids out there, you know, doing their own thing. And I think
Exactly.
and I think
Exactly.
you guys are just awesome, and thank you so much for doing that. Let's talk about the long run.
Hmm.
Any future big projects that guys have kind of planned out, like maybe a collaboration with Powwow, or taking them out and making more murals or something. Is there something in the plan for that?
Right now, after this, Hemlani's, because before Hemlani, before COVID, we were doing Totsu or Mong. So we did a bus up with them. So they're waiting. I think they're doing photography, but now we're doing Hamlani, and after Hamlani, we're gonna do DYA.
Wow,
We're gonna get with the kids at
wow.
DYA. Yeah, and at the end of the whole program, we take all their art and make a little art show. Now we're trying to figure out how that's gonna happen
Mm.
because yeah, and you know we give them. I think I'm not sure if you ever seen the other kids their display at the Guam Premium Outlets right before the food court, right before you walk down. So like if you exit Ross and you're heading towards the food court,
Right.
all their paintings were set up on the wall, like different letters. That that
Oh,
that's what they do with their paintings. They get to display
wow.
it, have their names on there, you know, and it's like people can see it, you know. And
Wow.
they yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. It's really
Man.
cool. But other than that, this is what we're just focusing on right now. We don't even know with COVID. It just said don't plan, you know.
Mhm. Right.
We're just taking day by day
Mhm.
and whatever we think of till then, you know, we'll figure it out. Other than that, it's just day by day.
That's
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. And that's why I wanted to get you on here, just talk about, a little history of, how it all started and what you
Hmm.
guys did. And you guys did a lot. And you said, like, let's just kind of go through all the different projects. If you can name some, so if people listening can go and see. So let's start. What are some of the big projects you guys did? And just name the locations if you can remember, so people can, could stroll by and take pictures and stuff.
We've done the big half a day in back of Domino's Dedito across or in
Oh,
back of Winchell's. In back of
nice.
Winchell's. We did that big one. We've done the track and field, the Islanders at JFK. So big
Oh,
Islanders with the
Islanders.
floral. Yeah, we did a Stranded in Paradise mural for Powwow in Agania in back of the Payless office.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if you know where that's at,
Yeah,
between I think GTA and Boca Box, in back of Boca
Bookbox. Yeah, yeah,
Box.
yeah.
Yeah, we did Jotnia. I don't know if you see the Jotnia rules, that
Wow.
long retaining wall. That was the kids with Manelu. We man, and it keeps going. We Ross,
The Ross one,
yeah, all of those.
bro.
But I'm glad there's so much art around the island. It's becoming like, a thing, a thing.
It is, and man, it's and what you guys are teaching, man. You're teaching them to take, instead of, like we talked about, instead of just getting a permanent marker and write a ugly thing, you can take that ugly thing
Hmm.
and turn it into something beautiful that can live and stay on
Yeah.
Guam forever. And generations after,
Yep.
you stroll by and you see that nice little mural, like, oh yeah,
Still there.
I did that.
It's up to you. Like you could take a marker or a spray paint can, and you could either create or destroy. Whatever you're gonna do is what you're gonna do. Whatever we can't. At the end of the day, no matter who we talk to, it's all up to them. But our goal is just to try to inspire and let them know that you can do it. Anyone can do it. You really gotta just think outside the box and just keep doing it. I've never given up. Like, people that I used to tag with, they're like, "Wow, you're still doing it." I'm like, "Yeah, man. Like, I'm just trying to be me, And my team, we're all artists, so it just helps out because the fire is still going. We're constantly picking wood and throwing it in and figuring out what's the next thing to cook. And that's the beautiful thing about it. I can't sit in the office and just I can't. I gotta be at the beach. I gotta be
Right.
eating. I gotta be cooking or painting or
and
man.
and that's the artist in you. That's, you just have to be,
Yeah.
because the ideas come when you are outside and out and about. And if you're just stuck in like a cube or something, you have ideas, but you're gonna have you at one point you're gonna run out of those ideas. So
You gotta harness it. Yeah,
yep,
let it out. Let it out. Don't
man,
let it go to waste.
wow, it's awesome. Well, Lerk, honestly, it's such a great talk. And like I said, we're gonna plan more things, and hopefully we get more things coming up in 2020. But definitely for sure, thank you guys. Thank you and the crew, man, for all you guys are doing with Manelu and the kids, man. It's just awesome. The give
Thank you
back is
too. Thank you
there.
too. Yes.
All right. Well, Lerk, before I let you go, any last words you want to drop? Last messages or
If anyone out there wants to do some type of art, it doesn't have to be painting. Whatever you're good at, anything that you can teach kids, reach out. You can hit us up, or you can let Manelu know. I know their Instagram is Manelu, Manelu, or us. You can hit us up at Opake_Guam. Send us a message and figure out how you can help. Anything, whatever you can do, it can help. It can really help, the youth or anyone in the community out. Other than that, man, check out the paintings. I try it out.
All right, Lerk, ladies and gentlemen from Opake, Lerk, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, brother, to be with me here on the podcast.
Anytime.
Thank you so much, man. And continue to do
All
what
right,
you do,
brother.
man. You guys are awesome. Say hi to the boys there for me, man.
Will do. Will do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Lerk from Opake. Talked about the wonderful program they have with Manelu, and they're continuing to do it. So we hope to see more of those beautiful murals go up on the island. But other than that, man, pretty much concludes another episode of the One Micronesia podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.